Let's make a summary of SD-WAN configuration components. Remember that the Cisco Catalyst SD-WAN solution is multi-tenant. This means that it can provide service to different companies, or maybe to one huge company that wants to have separate SD-WAN networks. So in any case, you will need at least one organization. So make sure to create one organization name. It is an overlay setting. It is case sensitive. Remember that it is used in the certificates of all the devices that belong to one SD-WAN network, including SD-WAN, one edge routers, and controllers, managers, and validators. When referring to the wide area network connections, use the term transport side. And when referring to the local area networks, make use of the term service side. So remember, transport side refers to your wide area network, and service side refers to your local area network. This solution has the equivalent of VRFs. These are known as VPNs. You can have this amount of VPNs in your SD-WAN solution. Make sure not to use the 0 or 512 because those are reserved. For instance, you can create one VPN for all your voice over IP devices. As an example, every location is known as site, regardless of the type of location, and every site is identified by a different site ID, which are 32 bits wide. Make sure not to assign random site IDs. Don't do that, but rather define these 32 bits wisely. For instance, you can define that the first 5 bits will define the location type. For instance, a headquarters from a cloud, public cloud site, or a branch office, or a data center. And for instance, the next 8 bits will define the country where this site exists, and so on. Remember that when you have two devices that are in the same site, they will not create a tunnel between them. Tunnels are not created between devices belonging to the same site ID. Remember also that when connecting to a transport, you might have a pre-NAT IP address, also known as private, and a post-NAT IP address, also known as public. Do not confuse these terms in the sense that we usually use them, because not always a private IP address is an RFC 1918 private private address, and not always a public IP address will be the same as we use as a publicly routable IP address. Just remember that for the SD-WAN solution, the private IP address is the pre-NAT IP address, and the public IP address is the post-NAT IP address. Every single one edge device will have a different system IP. It must not be repeated, and think of it as a routed ID. It must be unique, it belongs to VPN 0, and it is usually assigned to a loopback. You can assign colors to your transport links. If, for instance, if you're connecting to an internet carrier or different internet carriers, you can use different colors to differentiate them. You have this color available for public. That means that you may have NAT in here. For instance, you can use 3G, LTE, business, internet, gold, silver, bronze, custom 1, 2, and 3. And if you are sure that you're not having a NAT device and you are connecting to a private carrier, you may use these colors: Metro Ethernet, MPLS, Private 1 to 6. The TLOCs, which is the transport location, will identify transport connection with high level of detail. The TLOC is made of the system IP. Remember that the system IP uniquely identifies one edge device. A color attribute. Remember that colors identify transports. and encapsulation type. Remember that we can use GRE or IPsec tunnels, so this TLOC will let you know from one edge device it is coming, to what type of transport it is connected, and what type of tunnel it is using. If you want to provide redundancy to your SD-WAN solution, if you want site redundancy, you can add more one edge devices. If you want transport redundancy, you can add several transports. If you want to have network redundancy, also known as hidden redundancy, that means providing transport redundancy to your data center. And if you want controller redundancy, that means using more controllers. Remember that your one edge devices have several capabilities. For layer 2 or layer 3 local area networks, they have BRRP capabilities. They have static routing capabilities, dynamic routing capabilities. They can be your DHCP server for your local area networks, and they support VPNs. That's it.